This town was my biggest fan, till I was who I am. What's the matter? What's the matter? All I ask is, why be afraid of this girl?
We have a handful of speakers, and we're going to start out with Pam Spies, who is a lawyer, I have a bee biting me, from the Center for Constitutional Rights, who is in town today because the center has been for the last number of years working on building a case against Scott Lively.
You know, the thing that is so critical in this case is to call it what it is, which is persecution. In no uncertain terms, this is persecution. This is not a difference of opinion. This is not about religion. This is about somebody using religion to try to erase others off the map.
As the complaint makes clear, this is a case where an individual from just up the road has been making a career out of going places which are already oppressive and seeking to turn really volatile, dangerous situations up a notch, and the results of that have been catastrophic for people who are in just incredibly vulnerable positions.
Scott Lively is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Scott Lively pretends to gather his flock together and talk about love, and that's maybe what the people in Springfield mostly hear about him, and then he goes to Uganda and spreads hate. Scott Lively, in fact, would like to make himself out a victim of our persecution. I am so proud of my community today and so grateful to the Center for Constitutional Rights. Thank you so much.
And it's an honor to be a part of this movement right now, a part of this group, and making sure that we seek justice. You know, we put Scott Lively to stop and not run him out of our town so he can do the same thing to somebody else, but completely put him to a stop. So I can only imagine also, like him being religious, I can only imagine how hard it is for youth here in Springfield, LGBT youth, to go to church, you know, and feel comfortable, you know, find faith when all he's doing is spreading hate, you know. So the sooner we could get him to a stop, the better.
And I hope that this is just the beginning, that we let Scott Lively know that there is no hate in Springfield. And if there is hate, it's going to be met with love, and proud love, and militant love that will not allow that to stay in this city. So I'm proud to be openly gay, proud to be next to you, and proud to tell Scott Lively, either get the hell out or shape the hell up.
I'm here to ask Scott Lively to please take off his Christian mask. Your behavior has not been Christ-like. Christ-like means loving yourself, loving your neighbor as yourself. Scott Lively, you have not acted that way. Scott Lively, please take off your Christian mask. Mr. Lively has gone state after state, country after country, fabricating his message of the threat of homosexuality. Please take off your Christian mask. Scott Lively is directly linked to the still pending anti-gay legislation in Uganda, which if passed would cause homosexual conduct to be a lethal prison sentence or even death. Scott Lively, please take off your Christian mask. Mr. Lively and those like him have an agenda of discrimination. Mr. Lively, please take off your Christian mask. In the words of Stephen Simon, how many more gay people does God have to create before we start treating them like we love one another? How many more gay people does the world have to create before we learn to act justly and love mercy? Mr. Lively and those like you, I want you to hear my heart on this. God will keep on creating gay people. God will keep on creating trans people. And God will keep on creating queer people. Please take off your pseudo-Christian mask, Ms. Scott Lively. Please take off your Christian mask and put on the true face of God, which is love. Scott Lively, it is my prayer for you and those like you that God will increase your ability to love. Thank you.
Today in federal court, Sexual Minorities Uganda, an umbrella group of LGBT organizations in Uganda, filed a lawsuit in federal court against Scott Lively. Rights where I work represented Sexual Minorities Uganda in bringing that lawsuit. We filed it here in Springfield today. And the lawsuit charges Scott Lively with persecution on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity for his actions in Uganda since 2002. He's been traveling to Uganda since at least 2002, meeting with political and governmental figures there and conspiring towards an agenda of persecution. And his actions are reflected in the anti-homosexuality bill, which was introduced in 2009 and was recently reintroduced in February 2012 of this past February. When asked about the role he had played in Uganda, Scott Lively has described it as a nuclear bomb against the gay agenda, the so-called gay agenda in Uganda. And he said he's proud of that and he hopes that nuclear bomb spreads around the world. And we're here today to stop him in his tracks and make sure that his work does not spread to more places. Beyond Uganda, he has worked in Russia, and his fingerprints are on the legislation in Russia that has passed recently, the anti-gay legislation of St. Petersburg. And we are just so grateful that the coalition here, the Stop the Hate Coalition in Springfield, has been working on this issue for a long time. And we're so grateful we were able to be in Springfield and be with the Stop the Hate Coalition today when we filed this case. It's been an incredible action, very powerful, and we look forward to working together for the coming years.
Black or Jew, straight or queer, mother of two, run around in a hippie dress, or ride my bike in a leather vest. What's the matter?